as I said in Java, there's nothing like what? Multiple inheritance. What do I mean by that? Multiple inheritance in the sense that, assume I want to create a class. I want to create a class father in com.aiti hyphen case dot inheritance finish. So I've created a father in this package. I'll create another class, mother. Then I'll create a son class. In other languages, I could have said I want to inherit from my father and my mother so that I know my true identity. So I could have just said extends. And you know, in Java, if you want to inherit, you use the extends keyword. So extends father It's not. It doesn't work. It's not. There's no way you can type it. There's no syntax for it. It only knows the extends only take one parameter, so it doesn't know anything apart from what after the father. So you can't have father and mother. You can only have extend from either your mother or your father. If you are good, either you pick it from one of them. If you are lucky to have maybe two sharp brain parents, shatter, then you become Shatawale. So that's multiple inheritance. Then let's talk about types of the classes. For the types of the classes, this class, as it has inherited from this class, you call it concrete class, but it's a subclass. Concrete class is just a normal class with a public modifier in front of it. It's a normal concrete class. If I eliminate this, it's still a concrete class, but it's only visible within the what? The package. Don't forget the visibility rules. It's only visible within the package. You also have situations where there are some classes. You don't want anyone to inherit from me. Maybe you see a particular family. You know they are so stubborn that their breed is always causing the nation. So we decided, no, with this family, we declare them to be final. Once you declare them to be final, you cannot create any subclass out of them. What do I mean by that? When I declare this son to be a final, if I realize this son is a stubborn son, or bad son, okay, I can't public, so I've named this son. If I declare this son to be stubborn, and I come down here, and I create another class, bad son, and I want to extend from the son, I'll get an error. When you get an error, don't panic. Just put your cursor on it. Then read the error. Cannot inherit from what? Final son. We want to kill the generation. So we've declared that family to what? Final. So no one can come out of them. They are all infertile. So anytime you see the final keyword on any class, it means no one can inherit from what? That class. No one can inherit from that class. So that's the final class. So you've seen the final keyword. If you put, it will ask me to create a subclass. So I can't do this. So that's the use of the final what? Class. So one will ask, why would you do that? When under what circumstance will you create a final class? There are situations where in your application, with time, or in a typical working environment, you'll be creating codes for other people to use. And once you expose your codes, they are liable to extend from the class. If they think your code is not doing what they want, they have to inherit from it and do whatever they want. But there are some implementation you want to enforce. That this one, I don't want anyone to change anything from this class. So this is final. Just like the Supreme Court judge. when someone speaks after giving a verdict, that is final. Whatever will be said on the radio or whatever doesn't matter. So when you declare a class to be final, it cannot be what? Instantiated. So if you have some properties that you don't want anyone to change, no matter the circumstances, you put them in a separate class and make that class what? Final. So that's a final class. Then there are situations to where the family is so rich that I don't want anyone out of the family to be poor. So first I'll create a rich family. Rich family class. Now this rich family, you have some attributes. You have an attribute or a method. You have a method. You have a method riches. And this method is exclusive to the family. You have a way of implementing it. But once you are within that family, you have to make sure you implement the method or the riches to suit you. Come again. Not come again. I'm a family, or you are a family. There's one particular trait about us. We want to maintain our riches. And any child which is born, you have to teach him how to what? Handle money, create money. So we have what? A riches what? Method. That any child of that family or any descendant of that family should what? Implement. Once you are from that family, you must make sure you know how to find money so that the generation or the name of the family will still what? Exist forever. So if you have a situation where there's a class and there's an attribute, you want anyone who comes or who is interested in your method to implement a particular method, that method or those methods, then that class qualifies to be an abstract class. Abstract class. When you make the class abstract, it means you are forcing your descendant to what? To do something that you want them to do. And what is that now you are forcing them to do? You are forcing them to implement a method. And that method is also called abstract method. Now, what's an abstract method? Abstract method is just a method without any implementation. When I say any implementation, you just have a name that riches. There's riches in the family. So anyone who comes should implement what? That riches according to how he or she wants it. But you should know that you've implemented what? The riches. But at the grandfather level, he just declared, created a structure there. But he didn't specify how you what? Implement the what? The riches. So those abstract methods are methods which does not have any what? Implementation. The implementation is left onto the what? The subclasses or the child class or the derived class. So how do you create an abstract method? It's very simple. You bring the abstract keyword in front of it. Now, immediately when there was no abstract, you see the error was here. Let's read the error. Missing method body or declare the method to what? Abstract. The body is missing, or you must declare this to what? Abstract. I declare this guy to be abstract. Now it has moved from here and gone here, and it's telling me that rich family is not an abstract and does not override abstract method riches in its family. Meaning, any class that contains an abstract method must compulsory be an abstract class. So once the class has an abstract method, then the class must be what? An abstract what? Method. So I have to make this an abstract. You can just click on it. It will make it abstract for you. Or you can just type it. So now this rich family is what? Now abstract because it has what? An abstract method. And what is an abstract method? Just a method what? Signature or a method header. There's no body or a method declaration. You just declare the method with the abstract keyword in front of it. This is an abstract class. No body. The method doesn't have any body. But you can have other methods in the family or other behaviors in the family. I can have other methods: public, void, learn, I can have other methods in the what? The abstract class. Learn. I can have so you can see I can have normal methods in the what? The abstract class. So now that you have this abstract class, so you've seen how to create an abstract class. You've seen the how. The abstract class should have at least one what? Abstract method to make it abstract. When I comment this abstract method, then there's no point in making this one as abstract. It will not complain, but there's no point in making it what? Abstract, because it doesn't contain any abstract what? Method. So this is an abstract class. It can contain other normal what? Methods or concrete methods. So now you've seen the how. Let's go to the what we can use for. For the what abstract classes, these are some of the rules. Because you know this method, there's riches. If not define anybody. So assuming I create an instance of this rich family and I say rich family dot riches, which implementation are we expecting? Which implementation are we expecting? Assuming I create an instance of the rich, I say rich family ref is equal to new rich family, then ref dot riches. What do you think will happen? You see, just the riches. I'm calling the riches. What will happen when I say riches? Yes, this is what I mean. I'm just doing for demo's sake. When I say rich, I'll get an error. That's ref is equal to new rich family. I'll get an error, like something of this sort. Rich family. And I say ref dot riches. What do you think will happen? Are you sure? When you call a method, what happens? Davis, when you call a method, what happens? When you call a method, oh, it does what is in the block. When you call a method, it does the body of the method. Is there any block for the riches? Is there any block for the riches? So if the class happens to contain 4 or more abstract classes with no implementation, is there any sense in creating an instance of it? Is there any sense in doing something of this sort? Because there's no body for that method. So because of this, there's a rule that abstract classes should not have instances, meaning you cannot create an object of what? The abstract class. You see the why you cannot create the instance of what? Abstract classes. So abstract classes do not have instances, or you cannot create instances because the abstract method do not have what? Implementation. So if you call it, which implementation should come? Are you expecting magic? So that's why I say abstract methods cannot be instantiated, meaning you cannot create objects out of them. That's abstract class. And you know the why. So I can't do this. This cannot be done. So the only way to use an abstract class is to subclasses. Create an instance of it. Because you cannot create an instance of the abstract class, you must inherit from it before you can use that, those features. Because that's the purpose. Abstract is like predicting the future and drawing some plan for the country, but you're not specifying how that plan should be implemented. You've drawn some designs looking into the future. In the future, you need this, you need this. So anyone who toes my line must know this. But you don't specify how you should go about knowing this. But you just say that you should have this in it. And those are the what? The abstract methods. And abstract methods are normal methods with the abstract keyword before the what? The method type. And there's no body. So there's an abstract method. So to use this, I'll come to I'll use I want the son to be rich. Okay, the son is already extended from the father. So I want the father to be rich. So I'll come and what? Extend from the what? The rich family. Because you know abstract class, we cannot what? Instantiate them because the abstract methods do not have what? Body. So there's no sense in what? Creating objects out of them. So extends rich family. So extends rich family. Now there's a rule. If you happen to extend from an abstract class, there's a rule. We know abstract classes are what? Abstract. Abstract in the sense that you don't create an instance of them. So if you extend from me, you either make sure that you are also not abstract by making sure you don't have any abstract method in you. And how do you make sure you don't have abstract method in you? By just giving the what? The method in the superclass, those abstract methods, a body. Once you give them body, they are no longer what? Abstract methods. They become concrete methods. So if you inherit from an abstract class, it is composed, you must always implement the what? The abstract methods in that abstract class. If you don't do it, no one forces you, but if you don't do it, the consequence is that you also end up being what? An abstract class. I'll go with that. You have a rich family, which is an abstract class here. It has one abstract method and two concrete methods or two normal methods. And the meaning of this abstract method means that the definition of this body or this method has been left to whoever is interested in this class. So what this method will be doing has been made open. It is now the responsibility of whoever what inherits from what? This class. Then this father wanted to be rich. So he heard that there's some rich family somewhere. So he quickly went to what? Inherited from what? A rich family. After inheriting, it's okay, no problem. You want to be rich, but there's a clause to it. You can't just say I want to be rich and you are rich. If you want to be rich, you must implement riches method. That's the condition. And the riches is what? An abstract class. So it's composed. If you don't implement it, the other way is if you don't implement it, you also end up being what? Abstract. And once you're abstract, it means no one can create your instance. So someone will come and use you and implement your abstract method. So if I don't implement the methods, anybody who will come will also be what? Abstract. So we continue to be abstract. And you cannot create an instance of it. So the only way to create an instance is extend, then add the implemented method. So you just click on this one, implement all abstract methods. I press enter. You see the override method or the override keyword. It's the same overriding. You're overriding the what? The method in the what? Abstract class. And note, there's no abstract keyword here at this point. There's no abstract keyword here at this point. Huh? Overriding it. When you're overriding, there's no need to bring the what? The abstract is just a marker. It's marking is that this method does not have what? A body. And the body has been left to the descendants of that class. Abstract methods and abstract classes. Are you okay? Don't forget the final. What's the difference between the final and abstract? Abstract methods or abstract classes, you cannot what? Instantiate it. And if you inherit from it, you must always implement the what? The abstract what? All the abstract what? Methods. Whilst with the final class, you can instantiate it, but you cannot extend from it. You cannot inherit from what? A final class. So know the difference between the two. One, you can instantiate, but you cannot inherit. The other, you can inherit, but you cannot what? Instantiate. So they are totally opposite. When you remember one, you just reverse the functionality for the other one. Then you remember the syntax. So that's an abstract class and a final class. So there's no, you are not, it's not a body. You are being reminded that you are supposed to do something of this sort. So it's giving a body syntax. That's overriding. You are overriding an abstract method. That's the responsibility that comes with being a rich. If you want to be rich, you must study hard according to the normal principle, perform well in school, get good grades, go to good schools, then you become what? Rich, so-called definition of rich. So that's what our riches is doing. So once you extend from it, you must implement it. So this one is giving it body, but you must specify how you want to define your own riches. And here, because it's auto-generated for us, that's why it's saying throw new unsupported what? Operation exception. It will, you usually see these things because it's being generated for you. So I'll just clear that one off. Then so that's an abstract class and a final class. So let me finish with this and let me test them. So test classes. So in the test class, I'll try and create an instance of what? The rich family. Let me see what we've already tried it. So I'll just say rich family ref is equal to new rich family. But immediately I press enter, I get something new, which I'm not expecting. And that's, we call it anonymous inner classes. Inner classes. You hold on for now. So this cannot be done. Before this now, this cannot be done. Now you have a father, which inherited from the what? The richest class. So you can just say new father. Now this one is what? Accepted. Because this is what? A normal what? Concrete what? Class. So I can now say father dot riches. And I can implement the father here. I can just say this out. I'm rich in my own way. I'm rich in my own way. That's what the father is saying. So when I come to the test class, so father.riches, it will print out what? I'm rich in my what? Own way. So I'm rich in my own way. There are other methods to the in the what? The rich family class. Other concrete methods like the what? Progress and what? Learn. I can also call them from the what? The father, because I inherited from the what? It. So progress takes maybe an integer. Then father dot what? Learn. Oh, okay. So I'm rich in my own way. Progress. Everyone must learn. So those methods are in the super class, the abstract class. But those are normal concrete methods. So I can call them.